potluck, for tailgating, for a Halloween party. This would be great. And as you can see, it has a lot of different minerals and vitamins and a lot of fiber with the beans. Not high in calories because we're using turkey bacon. And also, like if you use ground turkey instead of the ground beef, it would be even lower in calories. So now I'm going to pick this up. Now I'm picking it up by the edge of the pan. If it's really hot, obviously you want to be careful and use a pot holder. But because I just really warmed up the beef, it was okay to do that. But I would hate for anybody to have an accident as far as that goes. So now we're just going to spoon it into the baking dish. I've already sprayed it with the nonstick cooking spray. And you can see this is making quite a bit. I may even have enough for another smaller pan. We're going to have to wait and see. Let's put that down. You don't want it to overflow. I think I'll give it a little bit more. I think that is good. And then I'll be able to put the rest in another smaller baking dish, which would be nice because I could take this and freeze it and not even bake it, and then you could have that for another dish. So it makes a real nice amount, so that especially with you being busy with sports and the family's activities, now you have two different dishes for dinner. You have a full pan here that could be used as a main dish, and then this could be used as a side dish. So I'm going to put this in the oven. And it's baked for about 45 minutes, uncovered. So I'll set the timer for 45 minutes. So when we come back, I'm going to show you how to make a nice Asian tossed salad that we'll have with the calico beans. Thanks, Julie.
Buy local, buy fresh at the Dixie Lee Farmers Market at Renaissance Farragut. Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to noon for locally grown produce, cheeses, herbs, potted plants, baked goods, pottery, handmade crafts, and more. This is our third season, and the Dixie Lee Farmers Market is still making it easier for you to buy fresh locally grown produce and fresh local goods, all offered from Tennessee farmers and artisans. The Dixie Lee Farmers Market, 12740 Kingston Pike at Renaissance Farragut.
Spending a few minutes of your day preparing a meal for your family is really simple. I'm Jeffrey D'Alejandro, partner of the Crown and Goose in the Old City. I want to reach out to local folks and teach them how to cook a deliciously simple meal, how to choose good local products, and where to find them. Let's bring simplicity back into the kitchen. Join me every Friday at 3 for Marble City Eats only on KnoxIvy.com.
Thank you to MetroPulse readers everywhere for voting Knox Ivy the best new business for 2010. We love our role as an active partner in telling the world about the people, ideas, and activities that shape East Tennessee. Cheers!
Hi, I'm Mary Gushid, and I'd like to welcome you to my new show, Mary's Kitchen and Garden. This show is all about healthy eating, which means using ingredients from your garden and market that are fresh and in season. The recipes that I'll show you are easy to make and not too expensive. Everyone is on a budget, and I want to show you how to cook without using preservatives. Healthy, flavorful meals that you and your family will love. And remember, this is your show. Email me with your suggestions about cooking and gardening for the show, plus recipes that you would like me to try. Join me for Mary's Kitchen and Garden, only on KnoxIvy.com. So I've gathered all of the ingredients to make the dressing first because I really want the ingredients to come together, and I'll put the dressing in the refrigerator for a few minutes while then I'll put together the vegetables for the salad. So the first thing I'm going to do is grate some ginger root. Ginger root is a wonderful, wonderful vegetable. It has wonderful flavor, it smells great, and sometimes people can be intimidated by it because they go into the grocery store and there are these big ginger roots. Well, actually you can break it off, which I did, and you don't have to buy as much as it appears because it's not expensive when you just buy a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to peel it. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm just going to trim off a little bit of it's a little bit hairy, and I'm going to peel. It's actually like the bark, if you think about it that way, because it is a root, it is in the ground. And I'm going to peel off the bark. Obviously this will go into my compost bin. And you want to try to be thin with it because you want to keep as much ginger, just like a cucumber. You want to do it pretty thin as far as taking off the bark, but also you want to make sure you get it all because that one, it tastes very good. And then all you do is you grate it into your bowl for your dressing. And you can really use as much as you think that you would like as far as the flavor. It has a pretty strong flavor. It smells just wonderful. And we like ginger, so I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons. So you just go back and forth. It's going to drop into the bowl. And it can be used in all sorts of different ways, in cooking, as far as Asian cooking, in salads, all different types of dressings. You can also use it like in vitamin drinks and that type of thing because it has a lot of natural minerals and vitamins in it. So it's really good for you. And you can see that there's even some liquid coming out, and that's because it does hold some water, and that would taste really good too. All right, so I can run my hand along the grater. You always want to be careful though doing that because you don't want to cut yourself, but I do want to get all of that good ginger out of there. So if you have a small grater, that works well too. And let me just kind of get as much as I can out. And then as you can see, it pushed to the front, so now I can get all that out. All right, put the ginger aside, put the bark in my compost bin, because now I want to do some garlic. This garlic was grilled and roasted on my grill. And this is a whole bulb of garlic, and then I cut it so that I can easily take out the cloves. I really encourage you to do this. It tastes so much better than just raw garlic, and it is so much easier to work with. It gets to be a little bit sticky, but the flavor and how it cooks is so much nicer. And you can just pull out the little cloves, which is what I'm doing. I put this in the refrigerator, and I can tell you I've had it probably for about 3 weeks. So garlic lasts a long time in the fridge. So I'm just gonna pull out a few. You can take and peel. Look at that one. That one's really big. And it kind of looks kind of funny because it's brown, but that's okay because that's from the grill. And you can see the oil on my hand. So not only are we getting the flavor from the actual garlic, there's actual oil coming into the dressing, which is wonderful because we're making a dressing. Let me rinse off my hands. So then what we're going to do is mince this garlic, and mincing means that you're going to chop it really fine. So you want to be careful as far as your fingertips go. And this dressing is really easy to make. We're going to mix all the ingredients together, and then we're going to put it into the refrigerator. Let me just get this chopped up a little bit more. Kind of sticks together, but that's okay. When I whisk it, it's going to all separate. Okay, let's put that in. Be careful as far as using your knife because you don't want to have any accidents. All right. So now we have all of the liquid ingredients. This is a sesame oil, rice vinegar, soy sauce dressing. So let me get this out of the way. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is put in 2/3 of a cup of sesame oil. Sesame oil can be found in the Asian area of your grocery store. So I'm going to measure that out. Again, sesame oil is a wonderful, wonderful oil. It smells wonderful, and it can be used in all sorts of cooking, especially obviously Asian cooking. And then we're going to take and put in 1/3 cup of rice vinegar. Again, this is also found in the Asian aisle of your grocery store. And rice vinegar is really light. So if you're looking for a vinegar that you want just a mild flavor, rice vinegar is a really good choice. It's similar to a champagne vinegar. Next, it calls for soy sauce, and that's how I've made it before. But I decided I'm going to use hoisin sauce, and hoisin sauce is a thicker version of soy sauce in so many words. It's condensed, and what's nice about that, it will thicken up the salad dressing too. So it calls for a good teaspoon of hoisin. Put that in. You can see how thick it is. It's like sticking to my spoon. And then another ingredient that I'm adding is called tahini. Tahini is a sesame paste, so it gives the flavor of the sesame so nicely into the dressing. You don't need a lot, it's sweet. This is what they use in hummus also. When I've made hummus on past shows, this is what I use. So I'm just going to use about half of a teaspoon. We don't need a whole lot. And you can see that there is also oil. It's sesame paste, sesame seeds that are ground, along with olive oil. So I'm just going to put that in. I'm going to use both spoons here to get all of the hoisin and the sesame paste into the bowl. And then I am using just some pepper. I'm not even going to add salt to this because of the ginger and also the garlic. I don't need to add any salt, but you could if you'd like for your family. And now it's very simple. We just whisk it together. And again, it's emulsifying like I've showed you on previous shows. It's going to thicken up. It smells wonderful. It's going to taste great. Get all that ginger in there. It's a nice, pretty brown color too. It'll look really nice on the salad. So I'm going to put my whisk down. I'm going to take a little taste. Nice and tangy. It tastes wonderful. I can really taste the sesame seeds. So now I'm going to put it in the fridge. I'm going to put my whisk aside because I'm going to use that again. Put it in the fridge. And now we're going to make the salad. This salad can actually be however many ingredients that you decide that you want to have it, because it's, again, very flexible. I like to make it with romaine lettuce and also using Chinese cabbage, which is also called Napa cabbage. What's nice about romaine is that it has a really crisp texture and it holds the dressing really well. And I'm kind of old-fashioned when it comes to cleaning lettuce. I don't have a salad spinner. I like to do it the old-fashioned way, which is drenching the ingredient or the lettuce leaves into a sink of cold water and then bringing them out after you've taken the dirt off of the lettuce. And what's nice is that if you put your leaves in upside down or right side up, then what happens is that you're actually bringing the water all out, so you don't have to use a lot of paper towels and all of that thing that type of thing to get your moisture out of your lettuce. So I'm going to take a few leaves, and then what I'm going to do is wrap these in either a light paper towel or even a light terry cloth that will just keep them in the refrigerator. So there's another little tip for you. You always want to tear your lettuce versus cutting it, because that is what the chefs do, and it stops it as far as having any of the knife marks. It keeps it nice and fresh. You can hear this lettuce just breaking very nicely as I tear it. It's nice and crisp. And I always like to do it in bite-sized pieces, as I said before, because that way people don't have to cut it. And it just makes it nice. No one's uncomfortable as far as eating a salad. I know when I go into a restaurant and it's full of big pieces of lettuce, it makes it a little bit uncomfortable. So for the time's sake, I'm just going to do a few leaves. I'll probably do a few more later on as far as serving it. And then I have all sorts of wonderful ingredients. Mandarin oranges, red peppers, pecans, water chestnuts. Water chestnuts are a real popular Asian ingredient. some chives, some carrots, a cucumber, edamame leaves, or excuse me, edamame soybeans, I said that wrong. And I also have some rice noodles for on top. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in a few mandarin oranges. This is all like the kids could be helping you put this together. I've done some of the prep work as far as slicing the red peppers and grating the carrots. You can also now buy carrots that are already grated. So I'll put those in. What's nice about the edamame is that you can buy it already shelled. And these were in the freezer section. So that makes it really nice because you can get them in their pods and then boil them or steam them, I should say, and do the salt, which is wonderful to have it that way. But for a salad, I'm just going to put some in, and then I don't have to be doing the peeling. A few water chestnuts, again, very popular. So we have a lot of different colors of the different vegetables, and I've got some nice glazed pecans. This is going to give it a nice crunch. And I have some chives. I'm not going to put in all these chives. These are from the garden. Still have some things available. And then I have a nice Granger tomato that I'm going to slice. Down here we can still get nice fresh tomatoes, so I wanted to add that to the salad because it's so nice and red and it smells so good. Oh, this is looking really nice. And then this cucumber also is from a farm stand, so I don't need to peel it. I've already cleaned it, and you can tell that it's cutting really nicely. And I can put it right into the salad to give it another burst of flavor and more color, a different color too.